Yes, good evening. Can Brazil hit the high notes of that 2013 Confederations Cup campaign as the knockouts kick off tonight? Kareem Ben Sharifa, Novi Kapadia here after a well-deserved rest and are looking forward to a cracker of a game. As you can see behind me is our video wall. We've got all the games right down to the final now. So as every day, as one team makes the next round, we will show it. Our focus tonight is on the first two games here. Brazil versus Chile to kick off the round of 16. This game is in Belo Horizonte. The other game tonight is Colombia versus Uruguay. This one is at the Maracana in Rio de Janeiro. Our first focus will be Brazil versus Chile. Abhimanyu Sen sets that game up.
For the second time in as many World Cups, Brazil and Chile will cross swords for a place in the quarter-finals. But unlike any of the previous meetings, the Selecao, who aren't in their best shape, do have something to worry about, given the way their South American counterparts dismantled the Spanish Armada and gave Netherlands a fright.
Do Brasil é bom.
I think that football has been changing a lot. Of course, Brazil has beaten Chile sometimes. Brazil's history is good, but we don't have about this now. Each game has its history. I am sure that Chile is very motivated and is very confident of playing a good game against Brazil. We have to prepare ourselves well, and that's what we are doing for this Saturday's game.
Brazil may have finished top of their group, but whether it be in attack or in defense, Scolari's men are yet to display the intensity that world champions are made of. Chile, who've given giant killing a new definition, will look to take advantage of the spaces Brazil leave behind while in attack. And with the likes of Vidal, Sanchez and Vargas, Jorge Sampaoli should be more than confident of adding another big scalp to a CV at the biggest stage of them all.
We are going to win the game. We came here to make history, and that's what we are doing. We already beat the world champions. We won the first match. We stumbled with the Netherlands, but it was useful to improve on our mistakes. And on Saturday, we are going to try to win the match and keep on to accomplish the dream that we all want, and that is to win the World Cup.
The knockout stages of a World Cup can never be judged on paper. And Luis Felipe Scolari, having admitted that he would have preferred to avoid Chile, means the Selecao do fear Chile. Add to that the pressure of playing at home. Brazil will surely need the true Neymar to step up as the World Cup enters its knockout stages.
Novi Kapadia, before the tournament, this was being looked at as a possible Brazil versus Spain/Netherlands clash, and keeping in mind the conditions, one could have hoped that Brazil would have the advantage. But Chile are playing very well, and Chile know the conditions very well as well.
Yes, there's no weather advantage. I mean, Brazil obviously will have the home crowd advantage, which is like a 12th man. I mean, the passion and intensity of the crowd. But, you know, both Scolari as well as the German coach Joachim Löw have praised Chile so much, two very seasoned coaches. In fact, Scolari 6 months ago said Chile is the most dangerous team, a team he'd like to avoid. So I think the history part should be forgotten, that Brazil beat them 3-0 in 2010 and also in the 1960s.
48 wins out of 68 games.
Yes, so Brazil would always have the advantage. Brazil has the numerical advantage over practically every country in the world as far as football goes. And in 62, they had a very memorable semi-final with Garrincha at his peak where Brazil won. But I think this will be a much closer clash because under Jorge Sampaoli, this Chile team is attacking with vigor, and with Dani Alves and Marcelo not in the best of form, all sorts of possibilities emerge.
I was anyway going to ask Coach Kareem that question because under Sampaoli, you get a feeling that Chile 9 out of 10 times want to attack, and the 10th time they still want to think and still attack.
Yeah, absolutely. They are very adventurous in their the way they play, the way they start their games. 3-5-2, most of the time 3-4-3 with 3 strikers and only 3 at the back. So there is a lot of attacking flair there. But also the way they play also is demand a lot of. They spend a lot of energy on their game because that high pressure with keeping only 3 at the back is quite difficult to execute. And I'm afraid that will take a lot of from them during the first 3 games of the group stage. Interesting battle with Brazil. They are playing against Brazil, the fans of Brazil, because they are at home, and also top in Neymar in top form. So it will not be easy.
Okay, Karim Ben-Sharifa in fact has tried to put himself in the mind of Scolari, and this is what he has come up with. This is the probable Brazil lineup. Not much of a change, we're used to this by now. Hulk is back to full fitness, but the one change which Scolari could make according to Karim is Fernandinho could come in here in place of Paulinho, who's not been having a very good tournament. In fact, all Tottenham players, once they move to Tottenham, aren't playing too well. Let's also look at what the likely 11 could be for Chile. Yes, this one's similar to what they've been putting out. Could be a 3-4-3, could even be a 3-5-2. But at the top, this three, Vargas, Sanchez, Vidal, will be key. The way they press Brazil, and even the runs from Isla here and Mena there could be very interesting. Karim, let's now walk to your corner, the Karim's corner as we call it. And you know, Brazil, as this lineup shows, Brazil have this attacking quartet, this four-man attack, which has not been doing too well. But Chile have this high pressing game. They press really hard, and that could cut the creativity to Brazil's forward line.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brazil, we talked about that they will come on a 4-2-3-1 formation. And we said that Chile will be on 3-5-2, 3-4-3.
Yes.
So when Brazil will be building deep, if the side back are staying on the same line, you're going to see Sanchez, Vargas, and also Vidal pushing up. And of course, they will push the whole block, trying to put pressure on the half of the Brazilian half. This, of course, will make it difficult for Brazil to build from the back. And even sometimes when Brazil do this, push Alves and Marcelo up, and the two side backs open up, then you're going to see definitely these two side backs of wing backs of Chile will definitely put pressure on Alves and Marcelo, and we will see Vidal dropping back to be a 5 in the midfield, and Sanchez and Vargas will still put pressure. The worry of Chile is when they have the ball, you know, usually when you play tree, the tree open up to this level only.
Correct.
But I noticed that Chile, because they play very attacking, these two players, they open sometimes till the line and they are involved, which will leave a lot of spaces.
Yes. When you play a high defensive
back.
line, it could hurt you, yes.
Yes, so with Neymar in a top form, and especially Oscar giving that support, I feel that if Brazil hold and prepare on counters, they can hurt Chile.
Also, you know, you get a feeling that this could be Brazil's right versus their left. I mean, Sanchez and Isla versus Neymar and Marcelo.
Yeah, the thing is with here I would give a little advantage to Sanchez, because he was unbelievable on a one-on-one situation. Marcelo will have a hard time, and of course with the support of the rest of the team, but also the Vidal going always up. Vidal is playing like an attacking midfielder, but also as a striker. So definitely the defense of Brazil, this is the game where they will be really tested.
You know, he mentioned Sanchez, and I was reading an interview this morning of Ivan Zamorano, who played with in '98 with Salah, and he was saying that whenever Sanchez does well, Chile tend to do well. But also, this is Belo Horizonte, this is Fred territory. A lot has been said about him, but you know, you get a sense that Brazil just know how to kick it on at this level. This is the stage they are meant to be, and that could be the game changer.
Yes, certainly they have the big match temperament. I mean, they have the winning mentality. Brazil has had that always, and the younger players, I mean, people like Neymar, if Fernandinho comes in, I mean, because there's also so much competition for a place in the team, so that nobody really can sit back. So yes, all the advantages favor Brazil, but this won't be a pushover. I mean, the general feeling was that if there's not Spain or Netherlands, Brazil would have a smooth sailing.
But this could actually test them more, because this is a team they've played as recently as 2013, and they haven't got a very good recent record against Chile.
And Chile also, the weather conditions, nothing will, matter. And, there are vulnerabilities. I mean, like, people are making sarcastic remarks. Danny Alves, they're calling him the Danny Alves Avenue, because, when he goes up, there's wide open space left. So, Vargas and Arthur Vidal, I think, is very crucial.
He's not 100% fit.
Yes, that of course is another factor, as Karim pointed out, because he can fall back, strengthen midfield. He's been in blistering form for Juventus, so he can be very crucial. But of course, if Neymar and all get that free run, I mean, one hopes it's as exhilarating a match as the 62 semi-final, where Neymar does, I mean, Garrincha scored some of the greatest goals of his career. He was the man of the match, scored twice in Brazil's win. So hopefully it's a very entertaining match.
Karim, the other worry for Chile is that Gary Medel may not play. He's been a rock for them. And there's also that height advantage with Hulk and Fred have. That could be a worry, you know. Brazil could, if they don't get those spaces, as you said, they could send those long balls through. It could be a lot of aerial bombardment tonight, and you get a sense Chile may not be able to cope.
There is also the support of Fernandinho. He showed a lot of attacking support to the strikers. You are right. The height advantage for crosses from the final third is definitely an advantage for Brazil, and that's where the wingbacks of Chile will have a big role to play to try to keep Alves and Marcelo on their own half, or not being able to penetrate till the final third to deliver those crosses. So if they manage to do that, then there will be definitely Brazil will not be able to deliver as many crosses as they wish from the final third.
Novi Kapat, I remember before the 2010 World Cup, there was this massive clamour to include Neymar in the team. He was a 17 or 18-year-old, and Dunga said absolutely nothing. I'll go and play the way I want to, and I'll pick players I want to. But since then, he's been drafted into the squad, and he's soaked up that pressure very well. Fantastic outing in Brazil colours. He's got great goals to show, and he's the kind of a player who, with one moment of magic, can turn the game around.
Yes, I think here, not to blame Dunga, I mean, Menotti did the same for Maradona in '78. Peckerman took Messi in 2006 and just played him as a substitute. So I think at that time Neymar was probably a bit immature. It's been Scolari as a father figure who's got him much more involved. I saw him in the London Olympics under Mario Menezes. He was insolent, he was individualistic, he was a brilliant player, but wasn't really a team man. Scolari has molded him, and he's also matured with age. That 1 year that he's moved to Barcelona, that professionalism has helped Brazil a lot also. So I think, I mean, it was probably the right decision not to include him, 4 years ago.
Right, 10 seconds, both of you, predictions? No, we start with you.
Brazil 3-1, 3-2 or 4-2, but high-scoring match Brazil will win.
High-scoring game. Karim?
I think it's going to be close contest, but I still feel Brazil will go through.
Okay, so our experts think that Brazil have enough in the tank to get past Chile in the first knockout game of this World Cup. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to look at that other game coming up tonight. That is Uruguay versus Colombia. Remember, no Suarez for Uruguay. Welcome back. The second round of 16 clash tonight is another all South American affair. Rio will host Group C winners Colombia, who take on Uruguay, a severely depleted side, of course, after Luis Suarez was sent home by FIFA. Colombia have been a joy to watch in the group stages, starting with their 3-0 win over Greece. Two more victories followed, a 2-0 one over Ivory Coast, and then a 4-1 demolition of Japan to help them safely finish top of the group. Uruguay, in fact, are fuming after their talisman Suarez was sent home after being hit with a 9-match ban for biting Italy's Chiellini in their final group game. Coach Oscar Tabarez has since resigned from 2 posts in FIFA for the severity of the punishment.
I am not justifying anything and do not think that one should not be punished or sanctioned. But always, because this is between people and human beings, one must always give an opportunity to the one who made a mistake or commits a fault.
First of all, we think Uruguay are strong opponents, a top-notch team that we are going to face. It is a very experienced team with a lot of abilities, a wonderful coach with a successful period over the last few years. It was going to be a difficult opponent in any case, always.
Kapadia, the shadow of Suarez all over this game. He's gone back home to a hero's welcome. Uruguay are, it's, in a sense, it's a national outrage there.
Yes, that was expected. Uruguay have always had that indomitable spirit, the idea that a small country, they can take on the world. But it will certainly affect their team in the World Cup because they lack a natural striker, fallen out of form.
They were completely listless in that first game and Suarez was not there.
The only thing it could help is sometimes when teams are pushed to the wall, we've seen Italy 82 and 2006, they can bounce back, you know, with that revengeful spirit that we are ready to take on the world. But who will score the goals?
Okay. Coach, Colombia have relentlessly attacked. They've got, what, 9 goals in this tournament, and Uruguay haven't had that flair. In a sense, they've always relied on a scrappy midfield battle to just gain possession and ping those balls through to Cavani.
Yeah, definitely the fact that they miss Suarez, they will miss that bite on the final third, on the attacking third. But I'm sure Tavares will definitely use this Suarez saga and issue to get the best out of his player. You know, I'm sure he will, the message that he will give to the players is like, everybody is against us, and you see what let's go and prove something. And I'm expecting them to come very hard and very strong on this Colombia game. And also Forlan, the fact that he was dropped when Suarez was there, I'm sure he will play.
There'll be some
he have also
reaction.
something to prove. So taking in consideration all this, I still feel Uruguay will come very strong. But of course, Colombia also is doing very well.
Colombia have played with a lot of flair, but you go back in history, Rene Higuita, Valderrama, they've always had flair in a sense, Novi?
They've always had flair, but this is a more purposeful attacking team. It's also attacking with speed. James Rodriguez has taken over that Valderrama role and taken it to a new dimension. He's one of the, you know, in line for the best young player of the tournament. And under Peckerman, they've really consolidated themselves. And, you know, this is one team which is, though their best player or their best striker, Radamel Falcao, is not there.
He's sunning himself in Miami.
He scored 9 goals in the qualifiers. He was their top scorer, but they're not missing him. They're getting goals. They are not lamenting all the time that he's not there. So Colombia, I mean, the only little worry is how the slightly aging defense, Yips and Pereira, would cope with Cavani. If Suarez had been there, I think Uruguay would have been definite favorites.
Very quickly, Karim, lot of pressure now on Edinson Cavani. He can't do those box-to-box runs. He should just sit there and run straight and hard at the defense and show why he's a 55 million striker.
Yeah, he's very. I still think during the previous games he did the dirty job, because he did the defensive job that to allow Suarez to be on that front position. Now, even with Forlan, I still expect that Cavani is the player who will still do that dirty job, drop in the midfield, help the midfielders, because he's very fit. You cannot compare his fitness with Forlan, who with age and also playing in lower intensity league. So, but though he doesn't look spectacular, he doesn't look penetrative as much as we wish him to be, but I still feel that he's doing a great job for Uruguay.
Okay, will Edinson Cavani then end up compensating for the absence of Luis Suarez? Let's look at what you have been writing in to us on Twitter. And here we go. The first tweet coming away from Avinash, and he says, "Soccer Kings are coming to continue the beat in the pre-quarters." The second tweet coming our way is from Vishal, and he writes, "Ronaldo is the most Googled player during the World Cup group stage." Well, he must be Googling a bit himself as well, checking out what the world has to say about his performance. Our next tweet is coming up. Yes. "Eager to see Neymar score a few more goals and then eventually win the golden ball, not boat, ball. What a player," writes Akshay Pansare. And finally, "Is naming of the footballs as a Jabulani or Brazuca for the World Cup started recently, or was it from the very first World Cup at Novi Kapad?" Novi, quickly an answer to that.
No, it wasn't from the first World Cup. Then you played with those simple leather balls where you tied up with a lace. Since Adidas have taken over as a sponsor in 1970.
It's a marketing campaign.
They have, for each World Cup, they make a new type of ball and try to fit in with the culture of the team. That's why this name over here for Brazil.
Okay, our final tweet, which is our tweet of the day. It comes from Rudra Raina, and he writes, a day without football in the World Cup is a day without the sun, moon and food, as it's a basic need in our CPU / bracket mind since the past month. Yes, but I can tell you that Kareem and Novi in fact were happy to have one off day so that they could sleep and catch back on their lives. This is how you can join in on the conversation as well. All you need to do is tweet us with the hashtag World Cup. Remember, you can also tweet Kareem Ben Sharifa and Novi Kapadia as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much. They will be back at 11:30 at night to hopefully review a Brazil win. See you then.